We are two correspondents for Swedish TV here in Brussels, plus a temporary third one, but he will go back. He's working for our regional news. We don't have, on a permanent basis, correspondent in big cities like London, Berlin or Paris. No. So that means we have a double function. We cover the European institutions, the EU apparatus, the EU system, but as well what's happening in the countries. I'm reporting what the EU machinery is doing and what they are sending out, and then trying, of course, to get critical aspects of it and maybe a bit putting in a context, a bit in depth. We're not only going to the press conferences and hear the press spokesmen or the commissioners or hear the debates in the parliament or the ministers at the ministers' council. We also, I mean, if it's talk about foot and mouth disease, we do go to England and see the farmers. If it's about Greek fires, someone is in Greece doing it there. If it's about, what do I know, racism, we do meet the concerned people, the so-called some kind of reality. Even if the commission gives a lot of archive pictures on farming or whatever, it's more, we think we get better picture, more fun pictures if we go to a farm ourselves and meet the French farmer or whatever, and talk. In Brussels they say they should cut the subsidies for farmers. What's your view on that? Yeah.
Right.
So it's because that's what EU news to our extent is very much about. It's finding how does it affect people in Sweden or people in other countries, and find a concrete example, the human being example. I would say Brussels is very much adapted to EU foreigners like me, people coming in for some years, living, well, getting to live here. I mean, there's so many service institutions, and so life in many ways are adapted in Brussels for professionals from other EU countries. I mean, journalists, civil servants working for the government, or people working in the EU institutions, or private companies that have their EU offices, or organizations that have their organizations, and people who come for a short time. So of course, in that way, Brussels is a very special city, and Belgian people are clever and have understood how to make a bit of business out of that,
yeah,
to provide services. It's more colleagues sitting in the press room. There are more items, more questions, more angles of a problem, and some questions have become more complex because there are more countries involved. I mean, that's a change.